Good morning, afternoon or evening. Today we're playing again on the world map made by Max. This time it's a 4v4v4v4v3 with one person being alone for some reason. I think that's over here in France, yep. I'm playing on the team of, if I switch the colours it should show. Yeah, just about. So you can see the teams here. This is my team. I'm playing as Poland here. Obviously, I'm on the Vistula River. You can see we've got I think that's a Hungary player here, and that's the Hungary spawn, a Ukraine, and a Lithuanian spawn, so we're all of Eastern Europe. There's no one in Western Europe except from this one player who's alone in the France spawn. Our biggest adversary is going to be the North Europe spawns, so Finland, Sweden, Norway, and Britain. Those four are all our enemies, our main enemies. There's no one else in Europe, or actually anyone in Asia, although there's a team in East Africa, no one in West Africa, and there's a team in South America, and that includes Mexico, and then there's a team in North America as well. So there's quite a few of us, although it's not a full map, so it does have some balancing issues. But you can see that we're starting right in the centre of the map, and our main combat is going to be to do with the north here, and fighting over the Baltic Sea, which is going to be very interesting later on. So, for me, I've got here is Chiswell Lord, that's me as Poland. Our Hungary player is Baka, he's the host of this tournament, of this fun event on the official War Selections Discord, which is linked in the description if anyone wants to see that. We've got Fern in the Ukraine spawn, and we've got Frog in the Lithuania spawn. He's the same person who played Lithuania in my last world map video. Quite a good player, all of my team was quite good players. So now we're just getting into the Iron Age. You can see here, this is my spawn on the west bank of the Vistula. I'm mostly staying here, just building some barracks over here. And my teammates all came over and built their temples around here, and one huge collective farm in the middle. Here you've got Frog, Fern and Baka all farming together. So if one person runs out of wood, other people can support his workers, because the workers will harvest wheat from anyone. So that's pretty cool. We're going to, well, you can see we already have, we've walled off the river here, which is the main line of attack for any ships that could come in. And we are building a fishing economy. You can see that in this lovely little safe spot here, we've got Frog building his docks as well. And you can see that Axel, who is the Sweden player, is going Asia, and he's getting his fishing boats. You've got Rur playing as Finland, who's also got his fishing boats. And you've got WASD here also going for fishing boats, and Britain, I believe, yep, fishing boats as well as Wallace. None of us have a navy yet, any sort of combat-ready navy, but all of us do have fishing boats, although they do have more fishing, as our side of the Baltic doesn't have that many fish. But you can see that they've all migrated towards here, so they're all centralised and can defend each other much easier rather than running around, because what we expect to happen later on is a big attack coming in with tanks from different directions, and if, let's say, one person's over here, we all have to run all the way from up here all the way down through the forests to help him. But now we're all centralised, we can build up a really dense urban base and be safe, especially because when buildings are really close together, like here you can see, we're quite close together everywhere, and you'll see later on how it gets even more condensed and urbanised. It's quite hard for tanks to get in, and it's quite easy for us to just build up some machine gun towers and block everything. But looking at the France player over here in Western Europe, he's gone to, I think this is Brittany. Some geography people are going to get very angry at me, but I think that's Brittany here on the like Horn of France here. You've got North Africa fully colonised, they've set up their towers. Yeah, you can see here it's all fully colonised, and the South Africa player is probably going to colonise Madagascar soon as well. There is no Asia players, unfortunately, and the Australia spawn was removed for this event, because it's quite powerful. You can see here in the bottom left in South America as well. Brazil, the spawn here, has loads of wood, enough for the entire team. You can see that These guys are all just building up. Not too many armies, except from here in North America. You can see, actually that's Central America. You can see horses, some barracks here, but no units as far as I can tell. And Quasi over here is just rushing up to late medieval. He's probably rushing Wonder. Although I can't remember if Wonder's off. No, Wonder is on. Wonder is on. But let's speed it up a little bit. You can see that East Asia from Axel here, really strong navy in the early medieval age. Still no navy from our enemies, just fishing boats. Oh, that's the first one, I think. No, that the galleys, doesn't matter. So yeah, you can see now that we've got our battle boats. I think we were hoping to. We are in voice chat here. What we were hoping to do, I think, was just land stuff and make sure they can't build up. You can see we're stopping the building towers, but they're getting the junks out. And East Asian ships are one of the most powerful early game navies. You can see he tried to upgrade here, wasted a huge amount of resources, and unfortunately lost all his ships. And all those resources are mostly gone that he did not manage to cancel. I managed to land some archers here and kill some of their fishing, secure this fishing area for ourselves. A pikeman attack from the France player, which killed quite a lot of my workers and a few of my houses, you can see. Pikemen got a nerf, but they're still really strong against Bronze Age buildings. You can see my allies come in with archers, but I'm landing my own archers on their shores here, you can see. I'm building more houses in the north because I've lost almost all of them inside my base. See my allies here, this is the good thing now, we can just, all the units get centralised over here and defend me rather than running across the map. But we are losing the sea war, you see, quite spectacularly. We're losing here. We've got our own little navy of galleys, but this swarm of junks is just too much, and he's just able to produce them at... What is that? Oh, now he's making warships, and we're still early medieval. But I have the idea to make ships on the Vistula here, and then send them out through here. That way they're safe, and I can build up a bigger navy without having to be worried about that. Soon enough we do make an alliance with this France player against the northern countries. You can see that they're decimating our navy and dockyards. We do manage to sink almost their entire fleet as well. But you can see they've cornered us in here now. Can't fish over here, we can't fish over here. We're a bit stuck. We do have some fishing, some of the dockyards over here making galleons, but they found them soon enough. And these warships, my galleys are just nothing against these warships. I'm still recovering from that attack where I lost quite a lot of workers and houses. You can see my economy's pretty fragile on wood. Food I'm great on, and iron I'm not collecting or spending. That will come in very important soon. Here you can see another big fight between what's left of our coastal defense. You can see some torpedo boats and some machine controllers trying to stop these 4 battleships that are left. It's mostly a war of attrition here, little skirmishes between our ships, resulting in a few deaths here and a few deaths there. You can see that we came out on top on this one, just about. We did manage to drive them back a bit, and I think we destroyed one plane. Yeah, one plane, but now they've also got the Fugos out. We start calling out for more torpedo boats. At the moment, I'm still focusing on making bombardiers to push out and do some damage deep further inland. You can see in South America as well, the fight is still progressing. You can see that the player down here has been killed, I think by ships, although I didn't see exactly what it was. And the Great Britain here is now left alone to fight against the Wonder players. And the Wonder up here is a Great Britain Wonder, I think? Yeah, Great Britain Wonder, so he can just spam mission controllers and he's going to be fine. You do see some Nimrods here from WASD. I think that's the Norway player. They did manage to land a few, although don't know exactly why they couldn't kill him. Ah, there's the anti-tank rifles coming in as well. Anti-tank rifles and some machine guns. He probably should have sent a few more ships here. You can see that he did land quite a few Nimrods, but they were not quite enough, and a few of them were stuck there as well. What we probably could have gotten away with doing is teaming up on Canada, but at the present moment we were a bit too occupied fighting his allies, continuing growing battleship fleet with our own just machine controllers and planes. You can see some military aerostats going in, and we're trying to get to his airfields here. You can see I'm using my bombardiers. Try to destroy these airfields, which are sending Fugos, which tie up our torpedo boats, which are our main anti-air defences here. So that's one airport down. We got some bombers going in. He's going to try and scout out their base, find some good places to land. You can see now another big push from the bombardiers. It's a really cinematic fight over here. You got the fighters going in, and the bombers. Bombardier ships from the Middle Ages fighting battleships with torpedo boats, Fugos, more battleships coming in. And unfortunately for them, the battleships are just outmatched. You can see that we've got the howitzers on the coast, just about able to reach. We've got twice the amount of torpedo boats as they had. We've got bombers, we've got machine controllers and bombardiers. It's just too much for those quite expensive battleships, and they're destroyed. You can also see here that the French player's dead from No Tango. I think that's in North African. Yeah, North Africa. I think that's the Morocco spawn. No, that's, I don't know which country this is, unfortunately. But he's made some bombardiers, kept them, and killed the France player. And now he's going to move up, and I think maybe try attack the Britain player, but he has to sit in the channel, which is full of dreadnoughts. And dreadnoughts are not easy to deal with. You can see that this fight in the Baltic is mostly done now. The enemies are unable to produce the same amount of battleships as they could before, and their worker force is quite diminished because of our raids with machine controllers. Loads of resources going into anti-air guns, which are just not quite enough. We're scouting their bases, and we're moving up the coast, destroying all their docks. And unfortunately over here, the attack did not win. You can see I'm not even IR2 here yet. Most of my teammates are not, actually. Yeah, none of my teammates are IR2. There just isn't too much point. We do have vision over, you know, Istanbul and most of the east, like the Russia spawn, so we can see quite far. This was a big goal of ours, to be able to see enemies incoming, because it's such a big central hub. You can see if tanks wanted to get in and attack me from the east, they'd have to go through three of my allies and all of the buildings. The collective farming is still going on here. Loads of resources around us still. We tried to conserve the small forests to act as natural barriers. You can see our coast is very well defended. We've got trebuchets, we've got howitzers, we've got death scythes, we've got towers, vision towers, and we've got a pretty large navy now. Mostly just trawlers and torpedo boats supported with bombers, but it's still quite nice. Still usable to dodge this torpedo. Yep, there we go. And a little bit later, you can finally see that I'm still producing bombardiers, an hour into the game almost, but for good reason. You can see that we've also got complete naval supremacy. We've destroyed almost all of their docks, and we've got a swarm of machine controllers here in Finland spawn, which we've now in complete control of, and we're moving our heavy ships into. This is something that they did not do successfully. What they did was send their heavy ships in without much support, and now you can see that we're sending our slow and heavy vulnerable ships like the battleships and bombardiers in after we've cleared up all their ships with swarms of machine controllers and torpedo boats. There is a few bits of resistance. You can see some submachine gunners here, but nothing major. Baka has also managed to get a good landing in. You can see here a bit of a misuse of resources. You can see these Wonder Emmas. blocking the access up into Finland from the Baltics, and gas mortars here fighting workers, which is quite good, but the Wunderemmers really should have been in this field to be able to bomb our bombardiers, which are now able to destroy his base. For us in the East Europe spawn, it's mostly been focusing all our resources on cannons, defending the coast, and ships. You can see this is the last volley. Oh no, one more. The battleships and bombardiers working together is brilliant. And I think that the bombardiers get the kill. Yeah, you can see the bombardiers are going to get the kill here. And that's the Finland player down. Now we move away. We go right up this Japan player's coast, which is already being destroyed by Baka. He's fighting against howitzers in the forests and suicide craft from the Japanese. You can see he's got the Fugos. I think he might aim for the howitzers here, but don't know how effective that's going to be if he just moves the howitzers. Maybe a kill there. And he got a kill with that Fugo. It's pretty impressive, actually. Don't think he's going to kill those soldiers right now. But you can see that they've overspent on resources into anti-air and actually making bombers, which could decimate our entire fleet here. That one bomber could kill potentially 3 or 4 of our heavy ships, like battleships and things. But I think he just misuses it here. He should have been targeting the big ships, and yet he's targeting the torpedo boats. Oh, not even targeting anything at all. I think it's just a bit too much to micro for the Finland player here. He should be using his torpedoes and bombs, which he has plenty of. You can see there's one torpedo there, and I think it misses everything. Yeah, just misses all the battleships. Some really nice micro from Fern there. You can see our ships are doing really well. 17 kills on that battleship. The bomber is going around for another run. Although there's so many trawlers here that the torpedoes just don't do anything because of the screening of the machine gun trawlers. We've got even more units being landed here. He's cleared a way through the trees back here with his howitzers and death scythes, killing off workers, so machine gunners, and destroying his temple. Unfortunately, our bombardiers cannot quite reach the temple, so it's just destroying houses to stop him spamming units, which he is trying to do with some machine gunners. Although I think in this case, the light trench mortars would have been maybe better. From a distance, shoot these death scythes because the submachine gunners are not working. You can see the last few shots. There's not many. There's only 2 howitzers here, but that's it for the Sweden player. Now it's just up here in Norway. I think he might quit. I cannot quite remember. And Wallace in Britain. You can see here the death of the Norway player. And that's it for the northern Europe players, except from Britain, who is still giving us a lot of trouble. You can see these ME262s. We just tried them out. Cannot remember how good they are. They are not very good. Low armor, low health, high speed, good damage, but they're just so expensive and fragile that they're not worth it. Yeah, you can see that these machine gun balloons are blocking our way, and we are sending a huge fleet of dreadnoughts and battleships. I have got the Wunder, although we are behind the Canada Wunder, who has airfields which will probably be docked full of French planes soon, and anti-tank traps everywhere, sea forts everywhere, just a not easy place to attack. One major threat here, which is quite historically accurate, we've got the Ottoman invasion of the Turkish units. You can see on my most southern outpost, which is kind of in Hungary spawn. I think Hungary spawned, yeah, just here. You can see that I've got a bit of an outpost, a bit of iron mining, and a vision tower. And these snipers and quite a large swarm of light cannons is here. But what's really funny, I find, is that he attacked into territory that he cannot see in. So my saboteurs, with their bombs, just managed to kill quite a few light cannons there. We'll drop another few bombs. Another 3 or 4 shot there. We're going to drop another bomb in a second there, you can see. That's going to be an explosion, another few dead there. And I've got a lot more saboteurs as well. I'm just going to stand them around here, make them all drop their bombs, and this convoy of light cannons is mostly wiped out. You can see. And if they're not wiped out, they're slowed down so more bombs can kill them. It's extremely satisfying. It's most of their light cannons dead to a few saboteurs, which don't even cost iron. And the soldiers here slow down the Turkish units with death sides coming in as well. Yeah, there's the howitzers. I don't know where the death sides are though. I know there was some. Oh, there they are. There's the death sides, clearing out the last few snipers. And my saboteurs managed to wipe out half of the light cannons. You can see that they literally just cost 300 wood and food. And if you don't know how these work, you can go watch my video on how they work. It's not super complicated, but it's a lot of fun. Basically, they drop a bomb and they're invisible to units that do not have vision over them. So if they had a vision tower, the units would have targeted them and killed them. But because they didn't have a vision tower, my saboteurs would just walk in and place explosives everywhere. You can see I built a secondary outpost here to stop any more attacks, at least warn us of them. And I think I send more saboteurs as well soon. Where are they? There they are. I've got 10 saboteurs ready to go, but I don't think I used them. A bit of an assault here on Britain at the same time. Although, I think we do make a truce with them. Yeah, we turn around and make a truce with them because we find out that there's really just no point in fighting. We should rather focus on our main enemies. Let's see, the last few light cannons will be destroyed by a few saboteurs. Not all at once, unfortunately. Not quite what I was going for here, but I will send them back in. There's I think 4 more explosives that will be sent in. Speed it up a little bit, you'll see. So there's 1, there's 2, and they can see the bombs. That's why their units automatically target the bombs. But you can see that like 7 or 8 there were destroyed just by 2 bombs and death sides. And he's already messing up a second army here without workers to give him vision, which he should be doing. And you'll see why that's important in a minute. One quite cool thing I'd like to point out is even in our super industrial and complex base, where everything's kind of very close together, we still leave routes from the factories and barracks, you can see here between the forests and stuff, to get to the river. And you can see all these tanks and artillery using the river to get to the Baltic Sea, sorry, where you can see steamboats are preparing for naval invasions. It's a really cool little cinematic thing where you can see artillery going in through the river, using the river as a highway to get to the ocean, to the sea, sorry. We do spot again the Turkish invasion again here in the south. But we have sea forts in the Black Sea, stopping them going too close to the Germany players' spawn here, where you can see he's got most of his houses, which is extremely valuable. What is interesting that they fortified the Suez extremely heavily, when really I think what they should have focused on is doing landings in Italy and setting up a forward base over in the Alps. You can see where I'm moving forward here. We're destroying Wallace's outpost on Iceland, unfortunately, but we're just trying to get to Canada and set up a bit of a beachhead there, so you can see I've got all my tankettes. We're going to send my tankettes with squadron cannons, death sides, and I think motorcycles from Fern with armoured cars. You can see there's only 13 minutes left, which is going to make this really tight. You can see that again we're being attacked by this Turkish player, and oh, look at that again. Some saboteurs are on their way. They're going to clean up all of this army, and I think just these 8 can kill the whole thing. Oh no, there's 14 here. And what I do is I set them on loose formation, right-click in the middle of their formation, and the saboteurs just set up inside them because they cannot see them because they don't have vision here. And I wait for the last few to arrive, and this is able to kill all of them. So you can see I've got 16 bombs ready to go off. I think this one is going here in the corner. And I'm just getting my teammates to have a look. Get a good point of vision here. See, I'm pinging it, and any second now I'll start placing the bombs. There you go, bombs are placed. And a single light cannon and like 5 snipers survive that. That's why I love saboteurs. You can see here we did a bit of a mistake. We should have spammed torpedo boats to protect us against these bombers, which destroyed almost our entire navy straight away. You can see a lot of trawlers died, and our sea fort capabilities are a little bit hindered. We have some battleships on their way, when really we should have just been sending steamboats. You can see even a farmed Goliath coming out with storage from World War I to do a bombing run. I don't think it's actually going to hit anything. I'm not sure what it's going for. Yeah, doesn't do anything. A bit too old for that. I'm not sure what killed it, really. I think it might have just been deleted. Don't see anything that could shoot it. But yeah, you can see the battleships are trying to move in and stuff, but there's only 10 minutes left, and we've still got a long way to go. And anti-tank traps, and I think anti-tank riflemen are hidden around here somewhere, but I don't know exactly where. You can see, third time's the charm, the Turkey player is now building towers for vision, with another army being built up. This time, my saboteurs, you can see here, aren't able to do nearly as well because they've got the vision. But that can be countered with bombers. You send 1 or 2 bombers in front, destroy their vision, then send your saboteurs in. You can see my ancient fleet of bombardiers here now. It only took them like 7 years to get here. They've been around for ages, and they're here to help clear up these sea forts. They're more effective than the battleships, which is quite funny. Well, not super effective, but they're more effective, I'd say, because they outrange the sea forts by quite a lot. And we're going to try land as close to the Wonder as possible, but it's not really possible because the amount of sea forts in the northern parts of Canada is quite difficult to get through. And we do start noticing there's only anti-aircraft sea forts here, so we just walk through them. As it's not a problem, we don't destroy them, we just keep going because they can't shoot us. And I think it's just anti-aircraft sea forts all the way until here. So we could have really just landed here, but I think the player down here is also dead. The Turkey player here died to wheeled tanks. Wheeled tanks from Totrik killed, what's this player? Najiks. It's quite surprising really, as I would have thought they'd have more defences in the south. They even had Zambaraks here, which they didn't use, but good to see some action here. Although, now that the North American team is just 3 players, it should be easier, but with 6 minutes left, it's just a bit too late. You can see here they're moving at a snail's pace, these Turkish units, because they're terrified of my saboteurs, which I think I've got more of, either on their way or in my base. Maybe not at this moment, but will do eventually. Now we've got 2 steamboats, one of mine full of tankettes, and one of Bacca's, I think that is, full of workers and artillery. You see the bombers are wiping out our fleet here, which is attempting to push forward as best it can. You can see that's the Holy Foxes wiping out any air we bring with us because they have the anti-air, and the French bombers, the Potez, coming in. And that's our entire navy that we sent gone. Luckily, I do manage to get a landing, and yeah, you can see I just about managed to land my tankettes. Only 7 of them, unfortunately. And we also managed to get Bacca's landing in. Speed it up a bit because it's relatively slow here. You can see the Holy Foxes trying to hit these tiny little tankettes, but at this point we can't even get into their base because they've got their tank traps. We'd have to go in this way, which is full of anti-tank riflemen. You can see that the bombers are just able to wipe out our forward base way too easily. You can see the tankettes here as well. I've got 14 tankettes ready, although I mismicro them. Just focusing on trying to get these ones in at least, but the anti-tank riflemen are here and I can't get in through these anti-tank traps. So I'm already down to just 5 tankettes. I try to destroy his vision, but you know, 2 minutes it's just not enough time. See more steamboats coming in with dreadnoughts. I really hope they rework Navy and give things like dreadnoughts and battleships, anti-aircraft guns and smaller guns. You can even see Berthas landing here, but it's the same problem. It's too late and air dominates it. I think that's the main reason that battleships and dreadnoughts need anti-air, because you know, like military balloons can just sit above a dreadnought and wipe it out. You can see these steamboats as well being destroyed by military balloons. 1 minute left on the Wonder. We do manage to get a little bit of a secured base here, but really there's not many workers left, and it's a little bit late with 30 seconds left. The anti-tank riflemen are really strong when combined with machine gun towers and things to protect them from these armoured diamond Berthas. They're just going to run in because the anti-tank riflemen cannot hit them. But one last victory for us. The flamethrower kills 6 anti-tank riflemen. Pretty fun game. I think the problem is just the Wonders, you know, like it's basically impossible to break this. Especially with, you know, Holy Foxes and things. But fair play to them. I think we enjoyed this one with our mega Eastern European base, even though I should mention the Ottoman invasion was quite extended. It was quite large in its extent. They actually managed to push in and almost get to our German player. And with vision this time, you can see tankettes and all sorts coming over. Basically everything on the stand to deal with this. But not really a problem. Anyway, that's the end of this game, so thank you everyone for watching, enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.